As the kids head back to school, are you thinking about heading back to savings? It's the perfect time to refocus on your home financing with the Sharp Loan Team at Highlands Mortgage. With interest rates lower than your back-to-school checklist, they're here to guide you through financing or buying that dream home you've always wanted. Get tailored service that meets the unique needs of your family. Enjoy competitive rates that make switching a no-brainer. Access expert advice to navigate the complexities of refinancing or making your first purchase. And with their convenient online process, managing your mortgage will fit right into your busy lifestyle. So you ready to learn how much you can save? Join the savvy homeowners of the Triad who trust the Sharp Loan Team to help them with their mortgage needs. Refinance or buy, let's connect and chat about your savings plans today. Visit sharploans.com and take that first step toward better financial health. Remember, school's back in session along with the savings. Choose the Sharp Loan Team, your smart partner in home financing. Call them today, 336-575-9448.
This is the Triad Podcast Network.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode here on the Triad Podcast Network. Today, it is a first. We are in a brand new location with a brand new partner of the podcast network, but it's not a name that anybody is unfamiliar with. If you live in the Triad, or even if you've been to the Triad before and don't actually live here, you know the name Dewey's. Dewey's is a phenomenal bakery, but it's more than just that, and that's what we're here to do today. We love the opportunity to introduce people to local iconic establishments. Dewey's certainly qualifies as that. And so we're here to tell the story, because that's what we do on a podcast. We tell stories, and we're here to tell the story about Dewey's with a wonderful new partner. And so we're here with Kayla and Jennifer from Dewey's Bakery, and we're here at the Stratford location, Thruway Shopping Center. You know Thruway. You've been here many, many times. And so the store is bustling. You're having to navigate through the crowds here because everybody's here to grab something. There's even Halloween stuff already out. And so what I love most about this already, and then I'm going to stop talking and let the two of you start talking. What I love most about this already is as we meandered our way to the recording location, I got to pass by where all the magic happens. All the baking actually takes place. All these treats and desserts and things that taste so wonderful. You're just walking by, and it's you had to stop yourself from just grabbing things and stuffing them in your face. But the aroma, I don't know how you all work here at a place where you have to smell this all the time and not eat all of it in front of you. It's amazing. But Kayla, Jennifer, great to have you here. Kayla, let's start with you. Tell the folks listening a little bit first about yourself, your background with Dewey's, and anything you'd like to share as an introduction.
Oh, man. So I am originally from the Outer Banks. I had never heard of Dewey's before I moved to Winston-Salem. I went to school at UNCG. I started working at Dewey's this is my 14th year. So I started working at Dewey's. I've worked every position. I've worked retail. I've been a decorator. I tried to be a decorator. I've worked in the merchandise. I've done everything. Right now, I'm the director of operations for the entire retail section. And I just love it. I love the culture. I love what we bring to the community. Anywhere that I go, if I have on like Dewey's branded clothes, people are like, "Oh, did you bring us something?" Like we can even like smell it in your clothes. So it's such a staple in the community, and it's just really special to be able to work here and see people come in every day and say, "I've been getting my birthday cake here for however many years." They've gotten baby shower cakes and wedding cakes, and you never really lose sight of how special that is to people. So.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, when they come home from work, maybe they'll have to wash their clothes immediately. Do you even want to wash your clothes when you come home from work?
I mean, I do. Sometimes they're covered in icing or cake or whatever. So I do want to wash my clothes and kick my shoes off at the door. But, I can still smell it like in my hair or, whatever. But it's an iconic place to be, and it's a fun place to be, and it smells good.
Yes, it does. Okay. Jennifer, same question.
Yes. So I am also not from Winston. I didn't really know about Dewey's until I moved here to Winston. When someone found out I was not from here, the first thing they did was bring me a sugar cake and a tube of ginger cookies. And I fell in love. But I still did not step foot into a Dewey's until the day of my interview with Kayla, actually. I started off. Thank you. It has been fun. I'm on my 6th year of employment. I actually started off through a temp agency. What brought me to Winston was my family had a restaurant that we worked at for a few years. And then, business changes, and I was looking for a new adventure, and I've been with Dewey's ever since.
Yeah. And what is your current role now with Dewey's?
My current role is actually the retail manager of the Stratford location, and I also head up the marketing as well for all the retail bakeries.
Okay. And do you want to immediately wash your clothes when you get home, or do you say, you know what, I think I want to enjoy the smells on my clothes a little bit longer?
I actually do enjoy the smells, and so do my dogs. They really enjoy it when I come home.
All right. Well, thank you both for that introduction. And now let's get into some of the things that make Dewey such a cornerstone piece of this community in the Triad. So as far back as you want to go and educate our listeners and myself, what can you tell us about some of the origins of this place?
Yeah, so Dewey started in 1930, so this would be our 94th year, so we'll be 95 next year. And it started downtown, and then I think a really cool fact is during World War II, folks would bring in their own cups of sugar so that they could continue having their birthday cakes made throughout the war. And then in 1955, we had a fire that destroyed the storefront at our location downtown. And if you go downtown, you can still see like where the store was. There's a very faded, but it's on, I can't think of the name of the building, but it's a brick building that's on the corner of Trade Street and 4th Street. And you can see the ad that's still there. It has like our old vintage cake on it. But it's still there, and that's where the store was. But the fire destroyed the storefront, which forced us to move to Thruway Shopping Center.
Oh, okay.
And we are the original tenant here at Thruway, so we've seen Thruway go through all of its changes. But we're still in the same location that we were in 1955. Then we've opened several locations throughout Winston-Salem. The one that's still open in Winston is the one on Renolda Road. Everything is produced at Thruway, and then it's taken to our other locations, and then we have one in Greensboro at Friendly Shopping Center. But Thruway really is the hub. That's where the magic happens. That's where a majority of folks come. Renolda and Friendly, though, they're both their own unique stores, both beautiful stores, and have the same offerings that Thruway does, just a little scaled down version.
Okay. Yeah. Jennifer, do you spend most of your time in this location in Thruway?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So what's it like? How would you describe what the atmosphere like is in this location?
It is exciting.
Yeah.
Every day is different. You see a lot of the same faces, and you end up building relationships with those people. And so you get to kind of visit with your friends sometimes, and then they'll update you on what the family's doing. And they're about to go out of town, so they're here to get some sugar cakes and cake squares and eclairs, to take back. Because, if you're in town, you got to stop by Dewey's and bring something home for the family. Definitely a lot of exciting. And then, getting to see people's celebrations. They're coming to pick up their birthday cake or their wedding cake, and you get to see the vision come to life. I see it from the beginning to the end, and that's a really exciting part too for me.
Yeah. There's no shortage of places, whether they're local or they originated somewhere else and they have a location here. There's no shortage of places where you can get cupcakes and cakes and cookies and all the different things that you sell here. But what is it that makes Dewey's such a... It immediately comes to mind for somebody here that says, I want to get my birthday cake squares, whatever it is, for whatever occasion it might be. What is it that makes it so synonymous with the Triad, you think?
I think it's the nostalgia. I mean, there's never a day when you walk out on the floor that if you're interacting with a customer that you don't hear, oh, I've been coming here for years, or oh my goodness, it's changed so much since the last time I was here visiting, or everyone has a special memory that's tied to Dewey's. Even like employees that have gone on to different opportunities, they still come back and they're still like, oh, I want some eclairs. And it brings everybody back together, and it's such a household name that you go home and you're like, oh, I got my cake from Dewey's. I think that even kids that are like in elementary school and stuff, it's like, oh, I had a Dewey's birthday cake. Like, I just think that it's really nostalgic for people. And I think it's just a fun place to be. I mean, the walls are blue. The music is fun. We have fun gifts. We're playing with sprinkles and icing and cake. Like, how can it be like a sad place to be?
Exactly. And I would also say, when you think Dewey's, you have a certain expectation. We are using the same recipes that we have been using since 1930. We don't use preservatives. We use the same classic high grade ingredients. And so, like, I know when I'm eating a Dewey's cake or when I'm eating an eclair, like, I know it's Dewey's.
Yeah. Okay, so what are the staples? What are the items that are there? I think we've already mentioned
We've already mentioned sugar cake and eclairs for sure.
but what are the things that people come in and want most often?
I would say pink lemonade cake, white cake squares. There's nothing like our vanilla icing. The vanilla we have specially made by a company in Greensboro. We own the rights and the recipe, so they just make that flavoring for us. The recipe is right there in that filing cabinet under lock and key.
Uh-oh.
I have the key. But no, I mean, it's special. You can't find it anywhere else. And so the pink lemonade cake, the white cake, you said eclairs, I think.
And we talked sugar cake and ginger spice cookies.
Cream horns. People love cream horns. I feel like we posted something on social media last week, and the cream horn got like the most likes after I looked at it. So I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with anything.
So everything, basically.
Everything's really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, we haven't even talked about the ice cream.
Yeah.
We've recently started making that here in the store as of last year.
Okay.
And it's addicting. It's so good. It's so smooth, minimal ingredients. It's the best.
Who's ready for movie night? Our friends at the Ginther Group Real Estate are proud to sponsor another season of innovation and cinema at Bailey Park in downtown Winston-Salem's Innovation Quarter. The next film is Barbie on Friday, September 20th. Bring your chair or blanket to Bailey Park for a great night of cinema from Aperture and beverages and food from a variety of local vendors. Pre-film fun begins at 6:30 p.m. and the movie begins at dark. These magical movie nights are made possible by the Ginther Group, the real estate experts we trust and showcase right here on the Triad Podcast Network. Check their social media for info on each upcoming movie night. And for your real estate needs, call 336-283-8689 or visit theginthergroup.com. Buying, selling, investing, or just learning. Whatever you need, start now. And like me, you can become a Ginther Group client for life.
Okay, so that's what most people ask for. What do you two like the most?
Oh my goodness.
What do I want today?
That's probably the better question. Yeah.
I love the ice cream. I'm an ice cream girl. I can always go for ice cream. And it truly is like, I know that I might be biased, but it is the best ice cream. Just the vanilla ice cream is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had to like pick one thing, what would you pick?
Right now, I really want a coconut tart. And I don't even eat coconut. It is so good. It's like buttery, vanilla-y. And like the coconut is chopped so fine, you don't even know it's there. It's got like a little custardy center. It's perfect. Sorry, I'm hungry.
You know what's great is most people, I think, if they're listening, they might be, a good chunk of people will be listening in their car. So like we say in the ad that people hear on some of these shows, if you're hearing about this, like just come on by. Just drive on by. If you're hearing this right now and it's during business hours, like come on by and grab some of these things that they're talking about. Mm-hmm. Or if they come by on a Monday, I mean, I think there's probably a lot of people out there that know about what happens on Mondays, but for those that are uninitiated, what can people do when they come in on Mondays at Dewey's?
You tell them, Jen.
Let's hear it.
You can get a free cake square.
A free cake square. No purchase necessary.
No
right?
purchase necessary.
Just come in and grab one.
Just come get one. Yep. Each person that comes in will get one. You can bring the whole family.
Yeah. What's your favorite cakes? Is it the pink lemonade? Or does it depend on the day again?
It would depend on the day.
The white, I like the chocolate with chocolate icing.
I do love the red velvet. It has cream cheese icing, and I love our cream cheese icing too. It's also very good.
Every Monday, right?
Every
Doesn't
Monday.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can come to Thruway, then you could ride over to Renolda. And if you're feeling really wild, you could drive to Greensboro. We're not going to judge you.
Yeah. Or hit all three.
Hit all three.
Do whatever. Do what makes you happy.
Okay, let's talk birthday cakes for a moment, because when I walked into the store, I looked up to the right and I saw all these designs for these elaborate birthday cakes that were themed. I saw one for Star Wars. There's so many others out there. There's an interesting little design of one with a Taylor Swift angle to it. By the way, there's a lot of Taylor Swift in this.
You can tell you're in my office.
In this office. But tell us about the birthday cake experience.
So the birthday cake experience, we are truly grateful to have every single decorator that we have. They are the best decorators in Winston-Salem. A lot of them are self-trained, but all of those designs are out of their minds. We have a cake manager. Her name is Navy. She does, I think, almost all of the designs. So all those that you see when you walk in, they're mainly designed by Navy, unless they're Taylor Swift, and then they're probably designed by me. But we have the best. We really do. We have the best decorators. We're not going to say no to any design. We've done whiskey bottles. We've done cars. We've done football jerseys. What else?
Oh gosh, we just did one for a doctor the other day, and it was in the shape of like a pelvis of some kind.
Yeah.
We do all. If you have a vision, we can make it come to life.
Yeah.
That's quite a vision.
It was an inside joke between a couple doctors about a specific injury, and we made it come to life, and they loved it, and it looked realistic.
Yeah. We've done garbage cans. We've done everything that you could, anything that you would want, we can do. And what a way to walk into a party with like a really customized cake like that. Like it just it puts the attention on you. It puts the attention on the cake. Everybody's like, where'd you get that cake? Where'd you get that cake? You know, I got it from Dewey's. And then it's like, oh, I love Dewey's. What flavor is it? I hope that it's pink lemonade. That's at least what happens to me whenever I go somewhere. So
I was going to ask what's the most bizarre or memorable design request, but I think you may have mentioned it already.
Yeah, I did, I think, because it was unusual. But, you know, I like a challenge, and I started sketching. I looked up some ideas online and, you know, kind of created something special for them.
Yeah.
And I think they loved it.
I love that. So one of the ideas that we've had is to actually bring on a decorator for a future episode. So I can't wait to get into the weeds and the icing of all of it. But tell us more about like what's the process of coming up? Do people need like a well thought out idea or just a concept, or maybe walk through a little bit the process of if someone wants to create something really, really cool for a cake? And I won't even say birthday cake because you've mentioned all these different occasions that people can do.
I think my favorite is when someone does, not that they don't care, but when they don't have a vision, because we see it every day and like we know what we're the best at. So it's like, well, let me tell you what's going to be the showstopper when you walk into your party. I like it when people don't have visions. Of course, there's certain people that know exactly what they want, what colors that they want. We love those too because they're easy to do. But we love it when they don't have a vision or when they want to discuss their vision. At least I do.
Yeah. What about you, Jennifer? What do you think?
Yeah, I take it as it comes, you know. It's interesting being out on the floor, you know, dealing with a lot of different people. Some people have a bunch of different ideas. So my favorite part is taking all those ideas and breaking them down. What do you like? Let's create something completely unique for you out of everything that you like. That's kind of my favorite part because I get to use my creative side. Yeah.
What are the things that can be somewhat of a showstopper at a party? Like any good tips for somebody who's like, hey, don't maybe think this direction instead of this direction if you're looking for something that's going to make an impression on people?
Anything carved. I had a nephew that was born a week ago, but for his baby shower cake, they wanted to have like a decoy duck on the top, and they were going to purchase a decoy duck, and I was like, no, like we can carve it out of cake. And we Navy, I shouldn't say we because I had nothing to do with that, but Navy carved it out of cake, and I took the cake into the space, and everyone was like, that's fake. And I was like, no, it's 100% real. And just multiple people throughout the baby shower, they were like, oh my God, is that real? Is that real? And I was like, yeah, it's real. And they even took it home, and they put it in the baby's room. And I didn't realize that they had taken it home until I went down to like help them like decorate the room. And I was like, what are you still doing with this duck? And her husband was like, it's real. It's like a decoy. And I was like, it's not real. Like, that's food. You need to get that out of his room. And he was like, I had no idea that it was fake. And I was like, yeah, you don't need to keep that in his room. So they're just so lifelike.
Yeah. When is Navy going to get on the show Is It Cake?
I don't want her to, because I don't want anyone else to snag her.
Okay, scratch that. Edit out.
Never mind, Navy.
It's time to get serious about your financial future. It's never too early, but it could be too late to get started. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, getting started. How much do I save? Where do I invest? Do I save for college or retirement? How much for each? And who do I talk to about it all? Okay, we'll keep things simple for now and help you answer the last one. We recommend you begin with a local financial advisor, and that's Jennifer Johnson of Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. She'll sit down with you for a complimentary introductory consultation and go over all of your questions. Get started on the path to achieving your financial goals. Visit 3magnoliasfinancialadvisors.com or call 336-701-1600. Get comfortable with your financial future. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Retirement, financial planning, and investments.
Securities offered through Private Client Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors and Private Client Services are not affiliated. Private Client Services is under separate ownership from any other named entity.
All right. So a lot of other things that we can talk about, but I can't take my eye. Well, first of all, after I go around and I get through all of the Taylor Swift paraphernalia, I can't take my eye off this bag that's sitting on your desk, and it just says doozies on it. What is a doozy?
A doozies are two Moravian cookies that are sandwiched together, and they have chocolate in the middle.
Oh.
It's our new offering that we just offered this year, or I guess started this year. But you can purchase them at lots of different places. But you can buy them at Thruway and Renolda and Friendly. But they come in different flavors. The one on my desk is two sugar cookies with chocolate in the middle. There's a mint version that tastes similar to something that we all enjoy in the spring. The Girl Scout cookies. Then there's a double chocolate. I think that's all of them. Yeah. We have some special flavors that are coming. But I would offer you one of those, but I think it might be empty. I don't know. There's one in there if you want it.
Ooh.
It has your name on it.
That was probably my lunch one day.
Okay. All right. Jennifer, how much do these things fly off the shelves?
I'm stocking the shelves at least twice a day, I would say.
All right, let's give one of these guys a try here. I've never tried one of these.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, you guys got to come get some of their. So I've gone to your website, and I want to get you to talk about the website as well. But I go through and I look at doozies, and it just says sold out. I mean, these things are super popular.
Yeah, they're really popular. Mm-hmm. So it's our new take on Moravian cookie, or the thin cookie. But people have been really they're being well received with folks. And we have them in the store, and they're great. They're better if you put them like in the freezer, and then one evening when you're like binge watching any show about Taylor Swift, you can eat them. But
so let's go through Taylor's entire discography here. Okay, so tell us about the website, because there is kind of a different way to make sure that folks, when they're ordering things online, and they can order the same stuff, birthday cakes and doozies, and if they're still available, you got to get them while they're available.
Yeah.
But to make sure that they're getting them from here, straight from the local store. What can you tell us about that?
So you can go online. Our website is local.deweys.com, and that's for pickup directly here at Thruway, Renolda, or Friendly. It's really been a labor of love. We created it from the ground up. It has all of our special curated designs on it. As far as cakes go, every pastry is offered there. There's some merchandise. The cookies are there. Bread. What else?
You can pick up, any kind of packaged Dewey's item.
Yeah.
I think you kind of covered it all.
That's it. Mm-hmm. But it's a really great resource, especially the phones here are so busy. It's hard to get in on the phone sometimes. So if you go to local.deweys.com, if you follow us on social media, sometimes there's a coupon code that you can use to get a certain percentage off if you use the website. But pretty user-friendly, but it's a great resource.
That's awesome. So, you mentioned how the bustling atmosphere, and it's great. Like, you feel the energy when you walk in. It just seems like, Jennifer, that there is a great vibe around here at all times. People work hard, and look, the idea of people like Navy and other decorators doing all these designs, and they're very intricate and they take a long time, but the energy just seems really positive around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. We have a big focus on customer service and having a positive atmosphere. The world can be kind of a negative place sometimes, and, want everyone to come in somewhere that's fun and positive. And, our motto is celebrate every day. And, why not celebrate with a cake square? Or, it's hard to be unhappy in this place. It's really fun.
Yeah. If you can find a way to celebrate with a pelvis-shaped cake, you can find a reason to celebrate something any day of your life.
That's true.
Speaking of holidays, not that you celebrate holidays with that kind of a cake, but I want to talk about holidays for a second, because I mentioned I walked in here and I saw, Halloween things already up. What are some of the special things? Because who knows, people might be listening to this closer to Halloween, but what are some of the things that typically fare well, or people should really be on the lookout for when it comes to the holidays and getting into fall? And let's specifically just talk Halloween. What do people tend to move toward there?
Well, they're definitely coming in for cake squares for sure. That's a big push there. If we're talking merchandise, we do have a lot of unique stuff. Kayla, she goes every year, and she's gone for a couple weeks, and we do miss her, but she finds all of this cool, unique stuff that you won't find anywhere in Winston. We do have a lot of cakes and really delicious things too, but you can also find that unique gift, you can take home to somebody, or, we have a lot of North Carolina things as well. But I personally buy a new ornament every year from here, because we have all these different custom things. So I'm really looking forward to what Kayla purchased this year. I haven't seen it all yet.
Okay.
Lots of stuff coming in every day.
Wow, you're really that's a lot of hard work, and we feel for you.
Yeah,
I'm sure you dislike it.
Yeah, I despise it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about holidays or Halloween specifically?
Halloween specifically, I would say cake squares are probably, just because people are going to different parties and dressing up. We have the same Halloween design that we have had for probably 50 years. Every year, we kind of talk as a management team about changing it, and I'm like, absolutely not. I'll get so much backlash. People love the ghost and the cats and the pumpkins. And it's just iconic to Dewey's. So I would say the cake squares we probably sell the most, and then on Halloween, if you come in and in costume, you get a free cake square.
Yes. Monday or otherwise.
I don't know what day it falls on this year. But I would definitely say cake squares are probably the most popular thing for Halloween.
Can't go wrong with those.
Can't go wrong with cake
Can't
square.
go wrong with those. And, if you want to have them set out while people are trick-or-treating, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
You'd probably be a house that people will come to more often than others.
That's right. You're right.
I can't wait to see some of the Halloween-themed cakes that people might try to design. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We've done graveyards. What else have we done? Beetlejuice.
We did one in the shape of one of the little pumpkin, trick-or-treat baskets. It looked just like one. It was really cute.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You can't take that trick-or-treating, though.
No.
Eat it along with your other candies.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. I want to make sure we cover everything that we wanted to here. So is there anything that you would like to offer to the listeners, and just in terms of, again, we're here to tell the story of Dewey's and why it matters and why people love it so much. And I think you two have done an awesome job of doing that. But any final thoughts you'd like to leave people with, just to give them a taste of no pun intended, of why this place is so special to this area?
I just think, besides it being so nostalgic, I think what Dewey's kind of does for the community. Dewey's has never lost sight of when we had our fire in 1955. The community kind of banded together, gave us kitchens to use, ovens, so that we never missed a day of production. And I don't think that Dewey's has ever forgotten its roots. Obviously, it's very different than what it was in 1930 or 1950. But we love giving back to the community. We do a ton of donations with the community, and then obviously our holiday store program. We've given back probably over the course of the life of that program, we've probably given back close to $8 million back to the community.
Wow.
And that's such I can lay my head down at night and know that what I'm doing, while sometimes it can be stressful and it's spreadsheets and, it's that kind of planogram things, I can say, but this organization, they're going to get to buy their band uniforms, or this sports team, they'll get new uniforms, or they're going to get to go to Disney World. You just really don't lose sight of that. And it makes you feel good that you get to be a part of something like that. And it makes you want to work even harder to make sure that the customers have what they need, and that they can share their experiences with you. Nothing makes you feel better than to receive a text message of new uniforms or, whatever it is. And we share that with the staff, and it makes them feel good. So we have a purpose for what we're doing. We're not just selling cake and ringing people up every day. There is a purpose and there's a reason, and it makes people feel good. So
That's well said. And I think that perfectly illustrates just why this is such a great local business, because they embrace their roots, they support the community, they give back. Close to $8 million. That's a massive number. So it's been great to hear a little bit about the story today. This is just again, no pun intended, just a taste of what we're going to be offering with some more recordings with the folks here at Dewey's. We want to talk to, I hope we could talk to Navy. Maybe, I don't know if we can break her away from her work for long enough, but I hope we can talk to her. And but we want to talk about decorating and all the different things that make this place what it is. So Kayla, Jennifer, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Come to Dewey's Mondays every day. Celebrate every day. Come on over.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode on the Triad Podcast Network. Our mission is simple: provide information, advice, and stories about the people and places that make the North Carolina Triad such a great place to be. You can find us by searching Triad Podcast Network on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much wherever you like to listen. If you like what you heard and want to support the show and those that contribute, we would truly appreciate a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. It helps spread the word along, as do your shares on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Triad Podcast. To get in touch with us, simply email info@triadpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.
This is the Triad Podcast Network.